I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that. That's dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
Oh, wow. Hi, guys. Happy Friday. Oh, my goodness. You called me mid-sip there. Oh, hi. It is Friday. TGIF. Nice to say hi to everyone. Tom Stocks came in and said, Tim only does YouTube for money. He has admitted many times watching for years, and smart analysts can see he tries to put out enough videos to make a goal of money per day. Tim wants 10K views per day. I do believe there is the 10K goal to get to the $2,000 in AdSense, but does Tim have a new strategy in his video Slop? This is the question. Is he a genius, or is he just the king of the slop of the videos, real videos? We're having an absolute YouTube QVC, and it's interesting. He is doing multiple brands every day, and he is also interestingly not having integration of these reviews in his videos. So that's generally a sign that he hasn't quite reached the level of sort of brand deal where he's kind of being offered, you can just go with $1,500, pick whatever you want, and then you can move along and just integrate 3 minutes. He's having to do like whole dedicated videos. So that's something. And then obviously many of these items, as we know, find themselves on Facebook Marketplace. All right, guys, make sure to hit the likes coming in so that people can find us here this Friday afternoon. We do have a poll running. My name's Ray, otherwise known as Life and Vibe. Sorry, I need to clean my glasses off. I just suddenly realized. Let me go get something. Sorry, very unprofessional. So it's like suddenly I was like, I guess it's the sunscreen. I'm trying to get back to contact lenses. I don't really like contact lenses always. I have to say I'm much more fond of glasses. Okay. I apologize for that. It just suddenly felt like, oh my gosh, I can't see things well. My goodness, that was wild. Okay. Hi. So yeah, hi, David. Come on in. David says, I'm not a smart analyst, and his focus is on views per day, thus the garbage and the half-house reviews he puts out. Well, I think these are an opportunity for him to, I don't know if this is what he decided was his new algorithmic initiative. Just take every item that comes his way offered, do a review on it. Don't worry if it really gets many views, because these are not probably potentially, some do pretty good. But I think after a while, if this is all your channel is about, I don't know how much his subscribers, his loyal subscribers are probably going to click on. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to affect his channel if you just do too much of it. If everything is just a review of an item, that you're being given, and you are then going to flip it on Facebook Marketplace. So it's kind of like he's using his subscribers. This is just my opinion. My opinion is only and everything I do around here, just so everybody knows, is under fair use. Yep, under fair use. There we go. So he is, I think, having the eye on the dollars being more from having. I don't know if he sees this as content. I don't know. You got to let me know in the chat. Hi, come on. It's just slop, slop, slop. Well, I had a video. I was trying to make a movie. I'll try to, and I'll just upload it real fast. And then we'll see it. It was highlighting, and a lot of it has been given to me by other people. The different things that he has flushed away down the financial toilet. So there is a poll if you'd like to take part in that. The poll today is, let me see, where's my poll? Here it is. So is Tim an algorithmic genius, or is he just putting out video slop? And currently at 100%, we only have 23 votes though. At 100% is video slop, just reviews / AdSense. At 100%, we have 0% at 100% algorithmic genius. And then 0% at it's a bit of both and AI directed, because we know that Tim likes to talk to Gemini. He fired Grok. He released in a video recently, and he's just been putting out all sorts of stuff lately. I can't even keep up with all he got going on. It's so much. All right, guys, I did want to share a video real fast in a piece I like to call in memoriam. And this is going to be in memoriam of Tim's recent things that he has. Let me see here. Here it is. All right, guys. So if you just want to take a moment of silence for the KLX and for the Munster t-shirt, Tim has obviously put these items on Facebook Marketplace. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got, oh, is that all I got? It's just the Facebook Monster. Oh, here, is that it? That's all I've got? It's just the Munster t-shirt. Hold on. Where's my, hold on. I thought I had a, hold on. I got to find my YouTube video. Hold on. I thought I had a YouTube video. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me try to get this downloaded and then I'll share it again. But yes, if you have not seen, Tim has decided that his Munster t-shirt is worth $40 some. And not only that, he's trying to sell it at brand new, never worn. And if you check old DJ Shelly Shell, she has recently put out a video letting people know that, no, Tim, that's not the case. Tim has worn this video. So check out DJ Shelly Shell's channel. Take a look at that. Take a look at the video where she highlights in all the evidence that Tim himself obviously has not never worn this shirt. So I have another one to share here. Hold on. Not an image. Hold on. This is a in memoriam completely piece. Okay, guys. Sorry. This is also in memoriam. Let me share this. Here we go. There's the KLX that we're going to be using. Oh, there's the Kawasaki. All the information about that. Yep. And there we go. And then at the very end, yeah, we've got that Munster t-shirt there. So, yeah, thank you, Tim. Yeah, that's what Tim did with all his money, probably on all of that. Oh, all right, Tim. Thank you. Yeah, somebody recommended the toilet sound, and yes, that's what Tim does with his money. Oh, you're welcome for the shout out. Absolutely. Isn't that false advertising? It would be at least lying. Yeah, he's always lying. Yep, never worn. Yeah, never worn. $45, never worn. We saw it all over the place. Okay, so Tim is just, whoa. So he yesterday, every video, just look at all this coming from the core. This evening chat. Oh my goodness. The blessings, the money 5 blessings. He completely heard this somewhere and then just decided to regurgitate that one out. This evening chat, I don't know. Maybe we'll cover that one in a members only. So that will be covered in a members only live, because why not? It's too long otherwise. But Tim talks a lot about his past. And I don't think just saying the 1970s is necessarily an excuse on why he behaved the way he did. I had cousins who were kind of not much younger than Tim. Kind of weird, because Tim and I have about 10 years in age difference. And I have a cousin who is 4 years older than I and another who is 2 years older than I. Now, we do not speak anymore. And that's really because we are very different people. My cousins grew up in Roanoke and in Lynchburg, Virginia area, and went to Liberty College and grew up very strict Southern Baptists. One of my cousins definitely does not drink. The other one's a little wilder, and I know she has drunk alcohol in the past. My family do not go to, I'm going to show everyone's comment. My family members do not go to weddings with alcohol often. Like the kid, it was a strict upbringing. And this was in the 1970s. So I remember visiting their homes in the 1970s up in Northern Virginia. My uncle worked for Bell Atlantic he had a pretty good position there, and he would have to move around a lot in that northern part of Virginia. And his family, they were from, Southern Baptist and New Jerry Falwell and all that stuff. And so I just don't see Tim as anything from his childhood or his background or anything that says to me that he was raised Southern Baptist. I mean, I had family who were Southern Baptists. I promise you. And nothing I heard sounded like this. I mean, my aunt and uncle have never divorced. My cousins never divorced. One's never married. But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, why does Ray have reverb sound on it? Do I have a reverb sound on? Do I? I think I'd moved anything. Do I? Do I have a reverb? I thought I had it where I didn't move it. Did I? Does this sound better? Let me know if this sounds better. Let me see. Am I even on my... Hold on. Do I have a reverb? No? Okay, I'm on the nana. Does that sound better? Sounds fine to me. You sound fine to me. Because it's different ways. I shouldn't have a reverb. No, I did flush a toilet. I think this is the correct one to pick up my sound. You sound fine. You grew up so Southern so conservative for Southern Baptist is liberal. Yeah, that is conservative. My goodness. Yeah, Southern Baptists are liberals. I mean, my cousins couldn't see even a Disney film. Sounds normal to you. Okay, I went back. Sounds better now. Which one sounds better? I clicked it around. Oh, shoot. Okay, let me know in the chat and we'll fix it. If it goes back, Tall Heels, let me know and then I'll click back to the other because it has different ways it picks up sound. So Tim has just got tons of slop out. I mean, I don't know if this is his strategy. I don't know. The last stuff has just literally all been reviews. The Glacier fresh water filter, the Hosco e-bike battery test, the chicken wings cooked on the Bighorn infrared grill. I mean, come on, I hope you don't put that on the marketplace, Tim, after all that fat and grease. He now has a Vivor electric percolator that he's reviewing. And then he pulled out his Kawasaki again to show everybody. I guess because he hasn't been able to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. So it's just one review after the other. He drove back and forth to Fred and Raffaella's. I guess they have nixed him from filming in the home anymore. And because we don't see any more videos of him at dinner there. I don't think he's not going to dinner. I think they've just nixed the filming. They don't want to be probably scrutinized like they were for the the Cracker Barrel. And so Tim just got, just putting out more videos of him just sitting in cars, just talking and sitting in cars, cooking steaks, walking around, slop. Is it genius? It could be. If you're getting close to 2,000 views and then you're getting all this stuff to review. Now, he does need to write the stuff off his taxes or as fair market value. I'm curious if he's saying these are reviews. Is he saying includes paid promotion? Because even if it's something small, it needs to say. Now, I know this should say, I'm sure he includes paid promotion because this is quite expensive. They should all say that. Whether he files his taxes, I have no idea. All right, let's get into some reacts, guys. All right, I'm thinking we could go into this one here. Hold on, Tim. Let's make sure everyone gives us a like.
Video.
Oh, I don't have you at 1.5, Tim. And I don't even know. Let's just start him a little bit further along. I mean, it's 26 minutes of absolute slop here. 4 times. I can't understand him. You truly believe he bought the oven and well, I think the oven did say includes pay promotion. I wouldn't be surprised if these companies aren't hitting him up, because Tim really is good about turnaround time on his videos because he doesn't care. He knows his loyal subscribers and his haters will click on anything. And so he monetizes the video. If he's getting, $5 or $6, I don't know how he classifies. His engagement is probably, I don't know. So all of these things matter when it comes to your YouTube algorithm. I'm on a membership drive today. So if you haven't joined Life and Vibe yet, consider joining. I'm doing now weekly members only. The next one will be tomorrow. And I will go over the video of Tim and his teenage life. And interestingly, we also do things about me getting ready for my upcoming legal battle with Sarasota Tim. And I just ordered today to have delivered my special stickers that are for my plaintiff evidence. So I'm going to sit down and actually kind of work through with maybe some paper and clips or something in order to start marking everything. So once I actually get the stickers, I'm just kind of ready to go and stick them on. I'm thinking of doing that. We'll see. But I've ordered the stickers. So I need to get that done ASAP because I need to get that all filed by May 8th. So I have to get that done. So I need to make sure that all my evidence is clearly labeled. And then that will be my copy or that's the one I'll submit to the courts. And then I'll obviously make copies so that I have my own copy. And then the ones that I send to Sarasota Tim. If you haven't caught my video where I explain everything about the legal process, I did put that out yesterday. And I appreciate everyone for the hypes and everything. It means a lot and it's done pretty good. So thank you. He's not getting... Notice he's not getting on the scale anymore. He's packing on the alcohol and deep fried foods at the Moose Lodge. Well, I wondered, so people have different things about whether they have license to allow alcohol onto the beach, whether Tim, talking about bringing guests is allowed when he's just on a preliminary month membership where he's being vetted, where he's got to see if he's able to be a full-time Moose member or the Mooch Lodge, as everyone's calling it. Timmy does his videos from his truck because his AC is waiting. Yes. That's right, Dirty Jersey. Good call there. Yes, obviously the uptick in the car videos is going to be massive because Sarasota Tim's air conditioning in the luxurious Flagstaff 25-foot KSB or whatever he likes. I probably know this by now. Is probably a oven at the moment. All right, Tim. Take it away, Timmy.
And the boys are coming Saturday. I got confirmation this morning. I hope they all can make it. He didn't say that one was going to sit it out. I don't know if Tim's going to come or not. He's the one that came but didn't stay very long. He's a high roller. Well, actually, I think he's going to go back to his place in North Carolina he's got for 6 months. So he may not come. But I sure hope Barry and I know Tom's coming because...
I want to say I went to a wedding reception at a Moose Lodge here in Virginia Beach.
That's who Greg's staying with down here from where Greg lives. Whatever.
As a Moose Lodge, there's no way he got the app approved.
That big horn, infrared, 1,500 degree Fahrenheit, salamander. Is that what you call it? You should call it broiler. The thing is bad to the bone, man. It can sure enough cook it up. I'm coming around you, bus. Not a school bus.
Oh, goodness. Tim, you're not concentrating. You're filming and talking and doing all sorts of stuff. DJ Shelly Shell says, as a Moose member, there's no way he got his app approved in a day. that location may pump them through, as there is a man there that has sponsored 1,600 people. Are you, do you get something in return for sponsoring that many members? Like, do you get like crowned, like something, or get a free meal? I mean, is there an incentive other than obviously having a good time and having more members to interact with? I'm not really a club person. I used to do running clubs, but yeah. But I can understand, as you know, I've often thought as I've gotten older that, you know, I'd maybe like to explore doing some type of dancing or something, you know, something where I can maybe meet people but get fit and active, but do something a little bit more lower impact potentially than just some of the gym stuff or running or things. And I ran for years, and I feel like after a while I stopped meeting people.
So I want to thank Big Horn Outdoors for sending me that.
Oh my goodness.
Well worth it.
Yes, that's true.
Also, I've got a product that they reached out to me. I accepted it if they send me enough batteries. Get this. I won't tell you the brand name until I get confirmation, but it's an air conditioner.
Oh my goodness. If Tim finds out that you can get money to convert, he'll be trying to get everybody to not only join his YouTube channel as a subscriber, but to be a member of the Moose Lodge. I wonder how they feel about someone getting sued in court for malicious intent and conspiracy.
Portable. I can put it in here. I can put it in the tent. I can put it in my bedroom in the hot summer nights. I can put it whatever, wherever. The only thing is, as you know, any air conditioner has to have a vent to put the heat out.
Oh, this is sounding more interesting. Maybe we need to join the Moose Lodge over here. It's starting to sound fun. I'm not very social. I promise you, I'd be terrible. I am happy to socialize with you. After this, the dogs are getting a lovely walk. June, did you already finish with your treat, or did Roscoe steal yours? Seriously, it's not even been 20 minutes. I gave them something like their favorite treat, and June's already done. June's been having a tough day because we had weather.
Especially if it's a real air conditioner with Freon, not a fan. It's not one of those gimmicks you buy at Walmart. They call it an air conditioner. It's just a fan. I'm going to go around here. Turn this air conditioner on right here. It's getting hot. So if you use it in a tent, they got this little contraption that you can stick the hoses right outside the zippered door. It's got these little plates that's sandwiched together with a tent. And
well, let us know when you finish that Moose Lodge video, because maybe I would love to make sure I watch it and learn a little bit. Like I said, I've had some very minor interactions with other people who've had events who they themselves were members, but it looked like everybody was getting on great. I always think that's awesome when you can build community, especially as you age. They say that's one of the most important things you can do. I am all about Tim building community. Difficulty for me with Tim is that I just don't want him to see people as marks, or, you know, even the judge sussed Tim out, as we would say in England.
It down, and all you got is the two holes where the air that sucks in and the air that goes out sucks in air and the heat goes out. You know, that has to be outside. But they got it rigged up, and then there's these kits you can buy on Amazon for this specific unit. It ain't cheap.
What are you talking about? Oh, the cheap. So he's talking about some AC unit he's also going to be getting. So he's going to be getting an air conditioning unit thing. He's got this water purifier. He's got he has a regular old QVC over here. I mean, Tim is going to fight hard to keep this.
I mean, far from it. But I was thinking, if I travel and take my motorcycle, because look, I got one guy that said he wants it, and he did say he wanted it, but he wanted delivery, and I said no. I mean, if I could deliver it, I'd use it. But really, since then, I'm really having second thoughts.
Open club.
All right, moving on from the air conditioning, let's talk about the motorcycle. I can't get anywhere close to what.
Well, DJ Show, you're going to have to include the history of how it started, and then kind of work our way into how Tim is not properly adhering to things, or the things he doesn't really talk about the benefits of, other than like cheap food. Like, I certainly would be a fan of whatever mahi sandwich or grouper sandwich. I can promise you that would be a top of my list too. There was a now this is not me. I have a lot of people who are members of a golf and yacht club here in Virginia Beach, which has a swimming pool, which the children would take swimming lessons at the Cavalier Swimming Club, and they would have competitions regularly. I mean, it was a full social event. You show up for that kids swim race. Everybody who was anybody in town was there, because all their kids were in the swim group, and it was cocktails all night. I mean, it was a party. Anyway, so I understand the attractiveness of joining clubs. But I would love to know the history of the Moose Lodge and, a little bit about it. It'd be fascinating.
I've got in this bike.
Because I don't think
I didn't do too bad with the gold wing. I didn't get hurt too bad. And some other things transpired that I sold, and, kind of a wash. No tears whatsoever, other than I miss it. I mean, what a machine that was. I mean, think about it. That's a $30,000 machine. That was, of all the gold wings I had, baby, with that DCT transmission and that color and all that big fancy seat it had and the skid plate. I mean, it was like what I've done to the KLX. Whoever gets this KLX, if they buy it, they're going to forget what they had to pay for it, because they're going to say, well, look, a stock one, you're going to need half of these things, if not all of these things that I.
That's what they all. That's Tim's excuse.
Yeah, already to it, and they can buy it for less.
Yeah. Okay, Tim.
Here's the deal: you're going to pay $7,200
Oh, wow.
with dealer fees, shipping fee, destination, and tax in Florida for my bike. That is the cheapest you're going to get it, because I bought it, and like I don't buy anything I don't steal, even if it's new. Even when I bought this truck, the Honda Accord, believe me, I was in the business. I got it. Not when it would be a.
Sounds like the Sloan. Yeah, it's very posh. Yes, I've always been like rich adjacent, meaning that I have a lot of friends who their families are successful and they potentially have successful spouses, or they themselves are successful and are members of these clubs and live in these neighborhoods and so forth. And I had a time when I would be taking their children or taking care of them in the summertime, on days when I wasn't, at the hospital, because the nurse, you often have a lot of time off. You fit your hours in a very short time span. So I often, to help my friends with their kids, got a little bit extra, as Tim would say, a couple of hundos in my pocket or whatever for helping with the kids. And would be able to go over and take them over to this yacht club and where the, golf was and the swimming and the tennis. I mean, this place is nice. It's not the fanciest though. I mean, it's pretty fancy. I mean, Princess Anne, but this one is a yacht and a golf club. And it's pretty nice in Virginia Beach. There's like all sorts of country clubs and stuff. It get real southern, real fancy in this area, believe it or not.
No, not where I can make a profit afterwards, because I bought it new. Just like I lost on the Honda Accord, but not too bad. And just like I would lose on this. But I'm not looking to sell it on the truck here. But the motorcycle, the KLX, I mean, the bottom falls out on those when you drive it off the lot. You go from a $7,000 out the door machine to a $4,500, $4,800, $5,300, somewhere in there, used vehicle.
And he's desperate to sell the KLX. You know how? Because this is how he always spins this. Like, oh, if I could really keep it. Because I think he just hopes one person in the audience may think, you know what? I really want that bike. And we'll hit him up. And today he is showing it in a video. Gain monetized reviews, Slop, and he knows his audience will just click on it, help him up the algorithm, and then it will potentially, trigger somebody to look at purchasing it. He did the same thing with the Honda Accord. He repeatedly kept talking about what a great car it was and kept showing videos about it. And this, like, literally a sales visit. Tim's channel is just some intermittent, him talking about things in his life, followed by a sales pitch.
All right, let's round it to 55. Let's round
In
it
my
to 5.
opinion.
Let's really round it down. Then, when you add these features that I did, guess what they count for?
It's
like Harley guys. They spend $10,000 on chrome and seats and doodads, and it doesn't change the.
Mine wasn't fancy. Mine was at the end of my grandma's pier in the lake. This happens to be this one particular club here in Virginia Beach. And a lot of my, friends, families, and some of them are members of it. It's just fancy. There's some fancy people here in Virginia Beach.
Fact that it's a 2018 and 2023 road glide or whatever,
Me,
it doesn't change it. But it does.
Supposedly.
To the person that likes it and would spend money on doodads, like me, that would spend money on the things that I did, the handlebars, the hand guards, the pegs, needed a couple of bags on it, luggage rack.
Well, I think even people that don't even enjoy his content and just peek in for like, what sort of, nonsense is Tim saying, for want of a better word. He's kind of like hoping for those views. I don't think those people click on that. Like I said, it's one thing when you can get a brand integration in. I was trying to work on one. Like my response wasn't that good. And I was so sad. I was like, darn, because I had another company reach out to me recently. And because I don't put my email out because there's been so many channels that have been hacked into that in the nomadic community. And I'm so surprised at this point Tim hasn't had something happen, but maybe he has this company he works at. He's been very fortunate because Mikey and some others in the nomadic community have had their accounts hacked into and have lost everything. And so I know that would be devastating for Tim, because in reality, if he were to lose his channel, how many of those 67,000 subscribers would really subscribe back to his channel? Because I don't think he actively has that many people watching his content. And so he has, not got an integration where they're saying, hey, we'll give you X amount of dollars, $1,000, $1,500, and you just have to do a 3-minute video and integrate it into your regular content. So, for example, with the coffee percolator, if he was talking about his morning routine or whatever Slop he put out, then within that, he would integrate in a segment where he's talking about, making his coffee with the percolator for 3 minutes and advertising that and then dropping his codes. That's a brand integration. Tim is still popping out reviews. So that pretty much indicates that he's not that valued as a creator, but he's valued enough for them to send stuff and then just let him take it. I think this is a channel killer. Unless done well.
So it would bring,
Hey, Sammy.
Now you've got a used bike with that much stuff.
Yeah,
it might be worth. But you remember, you could buy a brand new one. They always talk about $5,500 is the MSRP, not including 650 destination, not including the dealer prep, which is the profit margin and the profit and the tax. And then they got a license plate fee. And
I don't know what the laws are regarding beaches in Florida. For example, in Mexico, I do not believe anybody can own the beaches in Mexico. Like everything is open to the public. Now, a hotel could put its own sun chairs or amenities for its patrons down on the sand that are only available to them and not to the general public. They could have rentals to the general public. I know here in Virginia Beach, the city of Virginia Beach is the one who manages the beach. And I know that they have rentals of umbrellas and chairs, but that's all through the city. They used to. I don't know if they still do that anymore. They did for a long time. I don't know. After that poor lady was unfortunately unalived. I don't know if anybody. There was a very tragic event that came up where somebody, like someone's umbrella came loose, and they have those sharp spikes, and it ended up impaling somebody and unaliving the person. And I think, I don't know, ever since then, if City of Virginia Beach just maybe rinsed chairs, but not umbrellas since then. A lot of people like those newer ones that kind of like look like they just kind of capture the wind and kind of are strapped down, so they're not actual like umbrellas that could get blown away. Those tend to be more popular.
A title fee, and you're $7,000, $7,300 out the door. You got to
Yeah,
stop.
it was a terrible story.
You could buy mine for $7,000, $7,300, $6,950, and you've got an $8,500 bike that I got in it, $9,000 even. I spent $2,000 on that for $7,000. So if you go buy the new one, yeah, you're gonna have a $5,000 bike when you drive off the lot, but you're gonna spend $7,000 to get it off the lot. Here you can spend $7,000. It's still under factory warranty.
I know we had some individual who was unhoused who unfortunately was sleeping on the beach, and I guess they didn't see them like all wrapped up in the blankets, and you know, at night they go over the sand to kind of like clear out, I guess, the trash and kind of re-level the sand and make the beach look real pretty for the following day, and they got unfortunately unalive with the machine. So that was pretty tragic too. We've had some terrible things happen. Oh my
It is
God.
a new bike, and it's got the $2,000 and stuff on it. It's a no-brainer.
Oh,
but guess what? I'm having reservations because
no. I am so sorry, Thomas, that your niece, thank you for the super, but I'm sorry that your niece lost her dog Bandit. I am so sorry. You know, I am somebody who considers my dogs as members of my family. In fact, I watched a really interesting piece that had Kate Middleton's brother on it today. I can't remember his name now. Oh, slipped my mind. I see it all the time. Now it's going to kill me that I can't remember it. But he is a huge proponent of, you know, dogs and dogs being part of the family and how they literally saved his life and so forth. So I am so sorry for your niece's loss. And I know that Bandit being a dog went to heaven because that's where all dogs go. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, we're sorry for the loss. Yeah, I know. He lied about the free soda, the Wawa. Why would he lie about such a thing? He passed away. Oh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. That is heartbreaking. I am so sorry. That's hard. I am so sorry. Well, I hope your niece is able to, you know, I know she has a lovely family and she will be well comforted and cared for. And I know that though it's hard, there will be a time that she'll just, you know, be able to think about Bandit and, you know, think about the good times. Because I had lost one of my favorite dogs, Dolly, the end of 2023. And I had Junebug at the time, and Dolly was old. She was a little Pomeranian, cute as could be. Had her a long time, another little rescue. And she passed away. I had to obviously go to take her to the vet. And I was heartbroken. And so, yeah, it's hard. That's why I always have two dogs, I tell you. I always have two dogs because I always want one there for when yeah. He lies even to the judge. Oh, yeah, we know he lied to the judge. But yeah, so yeah, I am so sorry about that. Oh, precious. No. He's in heaven. Bandit in heaven.
I wouldn't sell it for less.
All right, really Tim. Yeah, you're not going to sell it for less. You know that. And hey, Dr. Falcon.
I'm not going to take that kind of beat. I would sell it for $7,000.
You lost your Morky. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to sell it for a penny less. I registered to $6,950.
Yeah.
$7,000.
And I think too, as we get older, it's then well, I'm not saying that Thomas's niece is older, but for somebody like myself, you know, I have so many dogs that I'm going to be able to have. One, being able to walk them and care for them. That's why probably at some point I'll go back to smaller dogs. I'd already never really had dogs as big as Junebug and Roscoe. And I wanted to have a bigger dog in my lifetime. And so this was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it now. Absolutely adore them. Junebug's asleep on the couch finally after coming over to me and probably telling me that Roscoe stole her toy. Roscoe happy on the floor. But I am so sorry. I know it's always hard. They are our family.
And I'm losing $2,000. All right, take the tax out, can't get that back. And you know, a few $100s of those accessories, which are brand new, just installed. And I've got new tires that are in the wrapper. You've seen them 1,000 times. They're sitting in the storage place, waiting to be put on. Those are the two top tires that everybody's putting on that tail.
I will be in court on August the 13th at 8:30 a.m. Is it 8:30 or 9:30? I need to check my order. I think it's 9:30 maybe. It's one of those times. I showed it in my video. I can't see. I got so much paperwork. It's one of those two times, but August the 13th. Come and see us. It's open to civil court. I would love the support. Come see us. I work in Chesapeake, as you know.
The MT21 Pirelli in the front and the Dunlop D606 in the rear, which completely changes the bike and gives you a complete different feeling of confidence off-roading than it does with these 50/50 knobbies that come with it, because the front end can wash out a little bit. It doesn't grip as well. And when you feel like this thing is like gripped to the ground, your confidence is high. So there they are. Never even been installed. Tire irons, a wheel bouncer. Who am I selling? You?
Well, of course you're selling to us. At this point, there's only one thing that I can come in with that, Tim, and you know it. You know it, sir. Let me go over.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry begging. Well, I mean, you know what that is.
He's begging his audience to unload that $9,000 headache.
You're not going to buy it. But anyway,
he wants his
I'm
money.
having reservations because I got things I haven't even used on it yet that I bought that I can't return. I've got a lot of money out of my pocket and a lot of dreams, like sitting here right now talking about the dream that never came true with the gold link.
On the 13th.
I bought this beautiful bag to put on the back seat and all them other
he's going to be in contempt of court for just not filing his grounds of defense. And Florida is very good at the reciprocity between what Virginia has, and since he has a long arm statute, and the judge clearly notified that. In fact, I have, where's my file? Oh, it's over here. Hold on, guys. So professional. Sorry. So professional. Such a professional. All right, make sure to hit the like for that professionalism. So, one thing I got back was a certified letter that Tim did not pick up from the mail after it was, can you do a poll? If show up in court in August? Yeah, we could do that poll. Absolutely. 9:30 a.m. That's the time we need to be there, which is good. And usually these cases don't have as many being tried, so I don't have to fight through as many cases being heard. It's not like with the small claims where you're looking around like, oh my goodness, there's a million people here. So I don't want to dox people. But two things that I received back to me, like I said, I don't want to dox anybody around here because the only person going to get doxed in a minute is me. So these, I'll try to turn around for a second. Dox everybody's names and addresses and everything else. Oh, Lord. Okay. So these are actually the signed receipts from the Secretary of the Commonwealth that was basically when Tim, I guess, picked up his mail or whatever happened. These were the ones that were signed by Tim. These were the items that were sent through the Secretary of the Commonwealth. I can tell because it's not my handwriting on these cards. And they do things differently at the Secretary of the Commonwealth. Like you cannot see these cards in a traditional mail office or whatever. And so he has signed for these. So that basically is what was the long arm statute, bringing Tim and giving me the personal jurisdiction to bring Tim over to Virginia for this case. Partly because obviously what I am suing him for is why. Because within that long arm statute, you have to obviously select a certain reason why it's appropriate, and you have to have the right codes within your warrant. It can't be just because he didn't fulfill a landscaping contract. There has to be like a malicious intent involved. So that's what brought him here to, or what is bringing him here to Virginia. So he does have to get his grounds of defense submitted by May 29th. It has to respond specifically to my bill of particulars. And if he doesn't, he will be found in contempt of court. So going in, he will be in contempt of court. So it's not going to look good. The judge has so far been very kind to Tim as a defendant. But I think if he tries to continue with the shenanigans, now, Tim potentially, I know, is going to try to submit all sorts of things to try to get this case dismissed. But he's literally going to have to come to a court in Virginia to be heard. Or for him to have a WebEx, I think I have to have some type of agreement, and he has to properly file motions. And I'm not going to agree to it because he needs to come with certain copies of communications. I mean, he needs to have them in his hands so they're not hearsay. Well, they have to be requested, and Tim has to file it properly. And I think I have to also be in a agreement. And since Tim is Tim, I'm probably not going to be in agreement because he needs to submit certain papers to me. So I have a subpoena that he needs to come to court with stuff. So it's not going to work for me, not him not coming. Well, because it's a business, he can't even get bankruptcy. So he's not protected through bankruptcy either. So, you know, lots of people are going to talk about it, but they have to make sure that they are understanding and reading codes for this state, because everybody knows that every state is different. We're not all the same. None of our laws. And Virginia is a commonwealth, which also sets our laws here very differently from other parts of the United States. Commonwealths work very differently.
Saddlebags it had on it. I could have carried everything in the kitchen sink on that and gone everywhere. I don't care how much gas went to. I wouldn't even have blinked. $5 a gallon. I don't care. It would have been so economical versus, you know, pulling this 9 mile per gallon setup. 8. So that was a bummer. But I don't am sick about it because I'd rather have
I don't know how you can be talking about Social Security, because hearing Tim blow $9,000 on a motorcycle when we knew he was living in a tent on somebody's property a few years ago is wild.
Money to do what I need to do, to pay my regular bills, to pay my lot rent, to pull this, to pay for gas, and liquidate that to use. So in that case,
if he shows you buy me dinner,
it was maybe shouldn't even have bought it.
If I win, you should buy me dinner, Tar Heels. How about that? Because Tim, he may not show up, so that's not fair. If I win, you get me dinner and a good one here at the beach. How about that?
And to think about, you're only going to be on the road with that. The way I rode it down the turnpike coming back from the Keys, people going by me 100 miles an hour, tailgating me, cutting in front of me. And think about sitting on either one of them in 100-degree heat.
Oh, yeah.
It's just really sad. So the Gold Wing, all right, I cried. It's over. I'm done. The KLX, I probably, because it's not that much money, and I don't need it because one thing I got is plenty of money. Which is
interesting because I pointed this out the other day. That's not what you said to the judge, Tim. Somebody asked you if he was under oath, and I don't think we did go necessarily into. I don't know. I know when the judge came in, it was very few of us in there. Obviously, we stood up and we did all that. I don't think anybody was sworn in, so Tim could just be lying to the judge. But once he gets to court next time, he will be sworn in. And he will be having to put it on the Bible stack. But he loved to tell the judge he was unable to travel and he was so poor on Social Security. Just a poor man on Social Security.
Just leave it. Just leave it. Just use it. Just ride it. Just enjoy it. Just find a slope. Just get somebody to push it up on the back of this truck. Just take it.
If you think Tim is not poor, Tim is not poor. Hit the likes for me if you haven't yet.
Just do it. Just get over yourself. And keep it. But I'm going to let the ad run. And before I completely talk myself out of selling it, I'll leave it running. For how long? A week? 30 days? 2 weeks? I'm going to change the ad again. I'm going to raise the price so nobody will buy it. Because even at $7,000.
I'm surprised all these companies are still sending him stuff, but he just says yes. Like I said, he turns this stuff around quick, so he keeps these people happy.
I'm losing my butt. I know. It doesn't matter. If you're talking to a car guy, it doesn't matter what you got in it. It only matters is what it's worth or what somebody will pay you for. That's what anything's worth. A house, a Rolex watch. It doesn't matter. An old Ferrari, a Corvette. It's worth what somebody will give you. You can ask a number, and hopefully if you're in the realm, you get some interest, unless you're just, asking stupid money. So,
would you all just be able to just blow off $9,000? Tim can't, but then he wants you to use his Amazon links and send him buy me a coffee. I just don't know with the minimalist retirement community just how well this sits. I know for some of them, they love to see Tim just wildly spending money, but that's not supposedly what his channel was even about. So it's very, YouTube does not know what his channel's about. So the people watching him, just fortunately, Tim got a few loyal folk, but what the algorithm doesn't know how to introduce anybody new to watch Tim.
Even if it's next year, I go to Moab. Even if I only go to Georgia, or I do find somewhere in Ocala or somewhere to ride that off road, because I haven't experienced that yet, except on like a sandy lot where they're building houses. That was for a minute, and I didn't take the air pressure down, and I don't have my good tires on it, and it was just for a minute. I haven't experienced.
Thank you, Patty. Yes, and Tim, I think when he's here saying he has plenty of money, and then saying to the judge that this was going to cause him hardship just to travel to Virginia Beach. I mean, he really was pushing the woe is me sob story pity tale on the judge that day. And yes, you don't want to be lying in front of the judge. Yeah. Yeah, you can be held in all sorts of contempt and jailed. And I think Tim thinks because this is a civil case and he is in Florida, that this is not going to affect him. But because of the statutes and I have sent through the Secretary of the Commonwealth, it basically gave Virginia the right to bring him into a court here. And like I said, Florida is excellent at upholding the kind of statutes and laws and all of the things coming from other states. They are very good about that. So you don't want to mess with Florida either. He's not broke, just stupid. Yeah. Well, he's pretty stupid. Yeah. You never know exactly what information the judge has. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he's been blowing up the clerk's office and emailing them and sob stories and this, that, and the other. And we see something completely different.
Dirt bike riding. I mean, I also bought dirt bike pants, shoulder pads, knee pads, shin guards, high socks that come up to your knees so the shin guard things don't chafe you. I got helmet, gloves, riding boots, which are a real strange thing to wear when you're trying to shift. But man, if you fall over off road and that bike comes on you, it's like wearing two casts. I mean, you won't feel it. You're well protected with what I have. I'm well protected. I mean, within reason. So, I mean, I went hog wild and bought everything. Amazon, UPS, FedEx was delivering every day, twice a day for like.
Oh, we know.
A month, ordering stuff for that bike. And one of the things, like the handlebars I put on it, I had to change the throttle grips, and they were out of them. I had to wait for them.
Yeah,
I said the wrong ones. I had to send them back and get the right ones.
Yeah.
Same way with the highway pegs.
Yeah, because he's just, well, we've noticed that he hasn't talked about Jesus so much lately. But yeah, but once he gets that bill of particulars and stuff starts really coming down, the judge put it out as far as he was willing to do it to give Tim time.
There was time there just swapping things back and forth with the wrong products because I was ordering so fast and I just didn't look close enough or something, I guess, and bought the wrong size, the wrong one. So it took a while, and then I had to get in there and decide to do it myself. And I watched 100 videos 100 times on how to change those tires with the tire irons that I was really excited about doing and want to do.
Well, he doesn't want to pay for an attorney, so it's not worth spending $9,000 on protecting his YouTube business, but it's worth spending $9,000 on a KLX. Make it make sense, Tim.
Instead of taking it somewhere and saving 100.
Oh yeah, he an angry man.
Or more, and do it myself because you might have to do a flat tire fix or whatever out there in the field. And I mean, I got everything for that bike.
No debt for that, but he put debt for his teeth. This is the things that just never make sense for people like Sarasota Tim. To somebody like me, okay? I'm more like, I mean, I don't like debt to begin with, No, I don't think anybody does. But if I were to do something medical, I certainly want to make sure I have cash in hand and prioritize that. I'm not going to put that on a care credit. But Tim was happy to do that for his teeth. But he, and who knows how much of these things he didn't, use all these credit cards he said he recently acquired and then, flips it out for cash. Who knows? Tim has run a game, I think, his whole life.
I need to keep it.
In my opinion.
I just put the e-bike in the storage, and I was looking at it, and I was thinking, I get more compliments out of that than I ever did the Gull Wing. People look over at that green machine. Like,
that would be terrible.
Like a dirt bike, and you're on the street with it. And like, that thing looks like a crawl over anything. It's cool looking.
I know he is.
Young kids love it. I come down the road, you just see their necks snapping to check it out.
Yeah.
I got a few subscribers that have them or bought one or whatever. They're said some comments to me and probably disappointed that I said I'm going to sell it. Probably like, what's wrong with this guy? And also, the e-bike. I got to play with that today too.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, Okay. So this, I think, is most of this video here is Tim just, and he'll flip the e-bike. We know that because he'll want to make room for another. There's no way he's going to keep an e-bike. He wants to show he doesn't have one. So he gets another. So he can flip that one. So this is the bigger money maker for Tim now than the AdSense and the buy me a coffees, I'm sure, have dried up. I don't know if I would be wanting to send somebody, maybe St. Louis Scott or somebody, but I don't know how many of his audience are feeling like his Social Security minimalism, be smart with your money, is going to be rewarded. Watching a man turn around and say, I just spent this money on a Honda Gold Wing and I don't care. And now I've spent this money on a KLX and I could just keep it. It's just $9,000. I don't care. But he'll complain about a $45 copay to a doctor. And he'll complain about what an attorney wants to charge him. And he's got a very serious case coming up. As you've seen, he's tried to ignore it and it's not working for him at this time. So the law does catch up with people. And this is not just a simple cease and desist. This is actually moved into a court. And anybody who, with any modicum of realization, realize it's not something that he can escape from. It's not like the kids and the child support. It's a little bit actually more serious, believe it or not. Hate to say it, because it should be more serious, the child support. But that can often be, Tim potentially wasn't able to get, have as much, maybe they didn't garnish the sandrail in those days. Oh, Lord. So he's got, oh my gosh, he's put out 2 videos of this KLX, guys. This is outrageous. Oh, what a life. He's going to take the KLX 300 to the Moose Lodge at Bradenton Beach. What a life, guys. Don't you want a life where somebody is suing you for $30K? I want that life. Well, I'm the one suing the $30K. And the more I see in Tim's behaviors and the more I've seen him interacting with the courts, I have and just my own personal preparation and so forth, I am feeling more and more confident as we move towards the court date. And so the judge, because these general district court cases are quick, there's no mediation, there's none of that. It is designed for you to have these bill of particulars and these grounds of defense submitted early to the judge, so the judge has time to look over the case, and then obviously it can be brought to trial, obviously, for you to say, your parts or whatever, but really the majority of it is through those documents in order for the judge to bring it to trial and make a decision that day. Done. That's it. So there'll be no further continuances. Nothing else is going to happen on August the 13th. All of those things have now taken place for this type of court case. Now that there has been a court order and these papers have been ordered, this is like what goes to trial. That's the trial date, and that's the date. Now, obviously, whether appeal processes or so forth, but whether Tim's had then burnt his appeals, because he's already irritated the judge, who knows? So I think by the end of the year, We will have this fully resolved, and I believe it will be in my favor. Right? So I'm looking forward to it. Happy Christmas. And then we just get on with it. I mean, resolve everything, just taken care of. Everything taken care of. And Tim can kind of run and hide all over the country. So, yes, is justice swift on this type of case? Yes, because usually I've heard some ridiculous cases recently of people wanting $15 million for less things being said. Okay, so it was just, I mean, I can't even. It was such bad content. So we took a look at this one. This one, that evening chat, I'm going to do that one as a members only. He got a Denver invitation to Fred and Raffaella's. I mean, I'm trying to figure out. Oh, maybe we'll take a look at this dumb one. Because this one talking about Fred and Raffaella's relationship. I mean, this is interesting in some ways because Tim is so desperate to have a female be basically a handmaiden to him, and for him to be treated like a king and have to do nothing. He just can't take it. That's all he wants. All right, guys, I'm actually going to give away some memberships. All right, so get ready, because I want to say thank you. It's a membership drive. Let's build the community to over 100 members. That won't happen today, but I'd like to do that. I have goals for the month of May. Let's see who got some today. Elizabeth, 2128, just Jody, Cougar Cat, Caterwall, Attack, and Carter, the cat. So welcome to Life and Vibe. If you want to join the fun over here, I should talk about Foodie again. I feel like this is all people from the Foodieverse. But she's been so wild and boring lately. Okay, I mean, who wants to watch this man talk about a percolator? I don't. Who wants to talk about none of this? I don't want another tour of this bike he's trying to flog. I just don't. I'm going to bring this back up on the stage again, guys. Hold on. Here we go. We're bringing this back up. There we go. It's the KLX. Tim is just all about it, as we know. He says it's the best bike ever, along with the Monster shirt. That's sold separately. You won't even get that with the bike. You got to pay $45 for that, guys. And that's where that comes from. Oh, goodness. All right, guys, let's find this last video to react to. Make sure to hit those likes and subscribes. It's so much fun. I can't with Tim. I'm just like, his content is so bad. I can't even find the good stuff to react to, but just make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. To subscribe, 5 minutes, you can join the chat. And we and I appreciate it. I just have to, that's what they all do. Maybe I'll take it to a minute one day. Yes. Last thing, he was keeping the Grinch mobile. Yeah, that's what he says. But this double video shows me that Tim has no intention of keeping this motorbike, because he did the same thing with the Honda. He upped the videos and talked about it incessantly until he finally sold it. And they're all, I understand, just these bikes everywhere for sale in Florida. So Tim might have a $9,000 Albatross. LOL, hashtag no percolators. Yeah, we're not doing that percolator. Is it possible to immune to Campylobacter? How does the survive his shitty food hygiene without getting sick? I don't know, because Tim says he also has colitis, which is like Crohn's, which no, they're not. They're two different autoimmune disorders. So colitis is not Crohn's. I don't know where he thought that was. He talked about that one day. It's like, no, they're not the same, Tim. Yes, ulcerative colitis and Crohn's are both autoimmune disorders, but both function differently in the human body. Anyway. Tim is wild. All right, let's get into here. Let's go back. This will be our last react.
You're driving in this
Hold
truck.
on, Tim. Tim is upset because they use like words like billions and trillions as if it's nothing nowadays. So as we know, and it was a good point out by Dirty Jersey, is that Tim will be upping the car content, guys. I don't know. We're not even getting he sold the gazebo, I think. So we're not even going to get the gazebo with him sitting, at least getting away from the bugs filming or something. Tim is not a fan of the heat. Which, surprise, why do you live in Florida? Florida going to be hot like 8 months out the year, Tim.
And I asked my phone, what is the breaking news today? Anything major? What's the price of oil? What's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, right? I'm interested. So I asked Gemini. I fired Grok. He doesn't know anything. He makes so many mistakes, it's not even funny. So Gemini tells me about, I don't know, some merger that was $7.5 billion. And when I heard that, it's just like they throw around the words billion and trillion today like it's nothing. I remember growing up, if you were a millionaire with $1 million, you were set for life, man. You were rich. He's a millionaire. It doesn't buy anything today. So I went back on Gemini and I said, they throw around millions and billions and trillions today. I said, how is this possible? Why? How come are companies really that valuable, or is the dollar just worth crap? What is it? Why are we doing it in so much, money?
Oh no. No, the gazebo is gone. Yeah, no, he just asked Gemini. That's all. Because he fired Grok. I guess he probably fired Grok after they did such a poor job as an attorney. He couldn't get him out of his court case in Virginia. As we know, Tim has been ordered to court. Can't get out of it anymore. He's received a long-arm statute. He's trying to throw the Secretary of the Commonwealth under the bus. It's not going to work. He's so tense. I know. Tim would kill for $1 million. Well, he's never going to have $1 million if he feels it's okay to waste $9,000 on a useless motorbike that is not going to bring him $9,000 worth of money and views. I mean, I think he just thought he was going to be like blowing up to 200,000 views and 100K subscribers because people just could not wait to see this slightly pudgy older gentleman get on a KLX. Not to be rude. I don't know. He thought he was going to be up there with the others, but there's nothing that would say in his previous algorithm. I mean, he just goes everywhere, and you have YouTube doesn't know where to put you after a while. Now he just reviews stuff all the time, so his views are going to be obviously his loyal followers, followed by people just hate watching. But I would be curious to see how many new viewers his content is sent out to. Not that mine isn't specialized. I do have some interesting thing I want to talk about, and we'll see how it does. I found some really wild AI channels, but it's like, I think there's people who actually think these are people giving retirement advice. And the way they're interacting, I'm like, shoot, one of them's got more subscribers than I do. So hit the subscribes, folks. I'm like, this is wild. They're getting more subscribers than I am. But then again, I don't know how many of these are bots or what's happening, So I'm going to share some of those one day. I'm thinking about making a video because it's interesting. Because certain things that I look for, like there's no reflection in the glasses. Why do they always have the same shirt on? Oh, they're wild, just wild. But some people are actually fooled. Was getting on the skateboard. He's definitely stunted. I mean, not that I don't want to have fun on a bike and stuff too, but I think that he's not somebody with a history of being like Tony Hawk. Now, if you were Tony Hawk and you want to get out there on a skateboard, Tim, or, Kelly Slater or somebody who's got like a history in extreme sports, then have at it. But you don't. You have no history. I doubt you ever competed in anything. At least I have a history as a competitive runner and can bring up like newspaper articles even recently in my 30s and 40s when I was still placing regularly in distance races, obviously as an amateur. But a lot of road races and stuff, still placing, in my age division and top 3 and stuff. At least I have that. And even I know it's stupid to go out running. All right, Timmy, keep telling us how you're jealous of the millionaires while you blow $9 grand on a KLX and get sued for $30K.
And he had the answer. I said, in the 70s, $1 million, like you were rich.
Yeah.
So he said, well, obviously the 70s, money was different. And I understand all that. But what $1 used to buy in 1975 takes several dollars now.
Yeah, no, they're
not $2, not $3. He said several. To me, that equates to like $7
now. Those clubs are ruined. He's treated those clubs so awful, never maintained them. Those clubs are ruined.
Businesses,
I'm
telling you something you already know, but in those days, you remember when a big store started to grow and they were finding a way for people to ship out of state, out of their area, across the country, and grow and start, really growing their business to where they didn't just.
But I thought he was a successful businessman. Couldn't have put that in even a home. That's the thing that always blows my mind is Florida property was cheap. Tim could have easily picked up something for a song. Even in the early 2000s, he's just non-committal.
Sell locally. They became so good and famous that whatever widget they were selling or food they were making or whatever their business was, they went,
help
we're going nationwide. We're nationwide. And that was like, hard to do and a goal. And now that's why these businesses are selling for $7.5 billion.
Now I heard the Villages is actually starting to increase in its pricing. And Florida Housing, obviously some of the homeowner associations with the condos. But there's other parts, like I heard the Kala is still very reasonable.
It's because they've reached a global market. They can generate enough money to sell their widgets or whatever they produce, technology or whatever it is.
If he only made $40K a year, I do not believe he could have achieved $1,800 in early Social Security.
To a world market in moments. So they're able to generate, a lot of wealth and revenue. And so people are willing to pay and invest into that kind of money for that kind of a business. So it's not like everything today. Even you could sell something on eBay and you got people can buy from you over in UK. You got a world market. You can specify that you only want to sell it to the US market, but even a small fry can sell things right on the internet worldwide.
Oh.
And so there you go. And so between inflation and worldwide markets and all these kind of things, this is why. And it's like, man, you get retired, you get your Social Security, you save some money, and then it gets eaten up by the economy and inflation and all these different things that have been happening over the last 50 years, Jim and I said, not 5.
Okay, so how could you put a video out potentially, I think it was like the day before, maybe even that day, where you said that you didn't care that you blew $9 grand on a KLX and you have plenty of money. Now you wanted to doom and gloom scroll about inflation and you'll complain about the gas prices all day long, especially if it requires a travel to Virginia. Make it make sense, Tim.
Years, but it's like I was telling a story the other night. When I ran away from home and got married, that was 51 years ago. Time flies. Things happen and things definitely change. Well, I'm sitting out here in a parking lot on University Parkway. I don't know, man. We got the snowbirds. They're mostly gone, but we got all this traffic because it is 4:33.
Yeah, maybe it's Steve.
What are they doing? Why is everybody out here?
I don't know, Tim, but you're making an 18-minute slop video. This is what I'm saying. It's got no financial background, terrible money management from what we can gather.
Like somebody said in comments, they were talking about,
$9,000
well,
on a motorboat.
they talked about inflation and recession, but look at all these people spending this money. But yeah, the stock market today has.
Tim, you just were talking about having an Amazon box a day delivered to your house and sinking thousands of dollars in just accessories on a bike you never really, if not using. And now you're promoting out of it because you're trying to sell it.
Saw was at 49, almost 49 and a half, 49.2. I remember when I put money in the stock market into a mutual fund. Oh gosh, it was when the 2008 crash came and I started taking the money out where the market was going to crash. And it was,
yeah, he makes $210 an hour, probably
15, 18,000. It hadn't even got to 20,000. Now we're almost 50.
Most of his money will be on something like that grill. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see that barely used on that infrared grill soon. Unless he decides he likes it more than the Q1200. Because he likes to burn his food. So he may potentially, but I think that's probably it looks like a fairly nice, I mean, these are probably thousands of dollars. So, and Tim, he doesn't really discount the price.
1,000. I remember when the stock market was 3,500 or, way down there. But again, it goes back to where back in the day, businesses were local, regional, and now everything's conglomerate. Everything's.
Tim, you're welcome for the YouTube premium on my end.
Big corporation, and with AI now, this AI, not only is it taking jobs, you can have it scan 50 pages of documents and spreadsheets in seconds, and then in seconds later, if that, it can give you all the information you need to move. I mean, you think that we're in a world market now? I don't know how it's getting bigger, already worldwide, but the speed of making the money.
Do you think he did that with his legal documents? That's probably why he's so confused.
The speed of the production of the knowledge. Forget Zoom calls and all these things that people used to do. It's all going to be AI talking to each other. And we got to crush it now, folks. If you want any memory of simple life, of what you grew up in, you better still try to crush what still is similar and familiar to you, because we're going into, man. And, and some of it's good and everything, but we're getting ready to go through another major evolution, I think, especially with the AI.
Tim, I think he lost Tim and the AI. Is that going to be his legal partner? Because he hates having to pay for an attorney. But those things make a lot of mistakes, Tim. As he found out.
So think about how many evolutions have we gone through if you're 67 like me. Okay, you're young, you're old enough to remember at your earliest age, and some of you are older than me, of where a house cost $3,000, cars had zero options, it didn't do anything.
I have to say that the cars and some of the pricing on the cars is wild nowadays. I can't disagree that the introduction of computers and more systems of that nature in the car have made them very expensive. I am so close to paying my car off, though. I'm so excited. I have a very basic car, and I'm happy with that because I travel a lot of miles with my work, traveling as an RN, going to people's homes. And so I've always wanted a fuel-efficient car. And so I drive a little car. I know people always say, broke in her car and stuff. There's nothing wrong with a paid-off vehicle.
Didn't have any electrics, anything. And microwaves weren't invented. Computers weren't invented. Mobile phones didn't exist. Pagers didn't exist.
What year are you talking about computers not being invented, Tim? My mother was the first female computer repair person in the Commonwealth of Virginia in the 1970s. And she used to work on the big computer mainframes on the Navy ships here in Norfolk, Virginia. And it was so unusual to have a female, I guess, in the industry in the 1970s. I mean, just the computer industry didn't have personal computers. These were mainframes. That they did a news segment about my mum on the local news here in Virginia Beach. Not that, we didn't even have video recorders, so nobody could ever record it. But I do remember watching it that night on the local news. the piece about my mom and her work being the first female computer repair person in the Commonwealth of Virginia, Tim. And this was in the 1970s. So what are you talking about, mate?
Every phone had a cord on it.
Out of it.
And we wrote letters as a texting to talk to each other. Then you had to wait 3 or 4
Dude, I had a microwave oven in the 1980s in my home in the UK. If we're getting that stuff in Britain in the 80s, Tim, who are you talking about? Just because you were marrying women who were that whole story about that's just no, that didn't happen in the 70s.
days for the mail to get to them.
You had some
and you'd
stuff
open up
going
and you'd
down
read
so
it.
that you need to address.
There was a long delay. We had answer machines, and you could go out later on in life. Answer machines came about, and that was like, ooh, you look at the blinking light when you get home. Somebody wanted to speak to me, and you could have their voice recorded, and then you can call them back. But you had to wait till you got home. There was no way of knowing once you left the house that anybody was trying to get a hold of you. But you had a device that told you when you got back.
I don't know. People who are 80 don't know any better.
Prior to that, if they came by your house, which is what they would had to have done, they would leave a note on the door. Remember, you get notes on the door. We came by. People used to have these little note holders on the door.
Okay, there you go.
So you could leave a note. Some people even had pen and paper there for you.
Most people who try to be better with their money don't really overspend. I have had, wanted to obviously get a bigger place, and I look and the prices go up, and I'm just like, I'm not going to be house poor like that. And so as much as I want a house with a yard, if they keep going up, I don't have much left on this mortgage, and I have a very low interest rate. So it makes me unwilling to want to move away from it a lot of times. So I don't know, Tim. And I drive, like I said, I drive a very small car that's very fuel efficient. I don't, look, like I have the fanciest stuff going on. But I manage to cover everything in the respect that, in the form of adulting, I guess, and ensuring that I have some type of stability as I get older. Try my best. I mean, I'm single, so I do get a single tax, as anyone knows who's single and no dependents here in the United States. It's very expensive to be single.
And you get a knock on the door to borrow sugar or flour or
that's
whatever. It's not unusual. Somebody knocks on your door today. First of all, you probably haven't opened it since you moved in there, because you go in and out of the garage door. You come in, you open your garage door, you go in, the garage goes down, you say hello to your neighbor.
Right.
But somebody would knock on the door and you wouldn't freak out. Today you freak out. Who could that possibly be? No drop-ins. We don't do any drop-ins anymore. If you're not texting or calling, and giving them a heads up.
Now.
And even, door-to-door.
Oh, yeah, that's the one with Raffaella. He's like he's just begging for a woman to take care of him. Ladies, don't. Please. It will rush you to your death because you will exhaust yourself trying to take care of a man.
Or almost.
One is if you are like Fred and Raffaella and you have been married and you are in a partnership like you see with Z-Car and his wife. That's different. Tim wants to exhaust some woman just for his benefit, as he did 3 others prior to him.
The thing of the past. Everybody's got security and ring doorbells, and if they do see, you're somebody they don't know, they don't even come to the door. They don't even care what you want. So we've evolved in from, come on in.
That's where Tim started to probably have, that's a tell right there. Let me go back on that, because Tim is talking about Ring cameras, and he said, I am very curious, and Tim would never be honest because we know he's the most dishonest person on YouTube, apologies, in the respect that he kind of was rolling up his business with his oil change coupons. Like, he wasn't, I'm always curious if he had kind of cut back prior to January 2020. Anyway, that's just for my curiosity. But listening to this makes me think that he was starting to have issues, that people were looking at people on cameras, seeing Tim standing there, this old guy, just deciding, no, I'm not going to answer the door. Whereas before, when people maybe didn't have cameras, they answered the door because they didn't know who was there.
They're calling.
Ring cameras are great. I got one.
And even, door-to-door salesmen are almost a thing of the past. Everybody's got security and ring doorbells. And if they do see, you're somebody they don't know, they don't even come to the door. They don't even care what you want. So we've evolved in from, come on in. Who is it? So-and-so, neighbor.
Why? This is just problematic. Because people got smarter, Tim. People actually started to get aware that you can't let complete strangers in your home like that. That's not safe. That's how people got killed in the past. And no, nobody wants to be hawked and shilled coupon books unless you're a Boy Scout. I understand the Boy Scouts sell those discounted coupon books outside of places.
Come in. Don't even ask who it was before that. Then they went to like, who is it? And the door was unlocked. You see what I'm saying? The difference in, now look at the young people today. And I'm talking people probably 30 years old that have no clue of any of this. They don't remember.
Well, they don't need to remember that, do they, Tim? It's not part of their life. Why do they want to remember about having like your dinner interrupted by people trying to sell double glazed windows like we did in England? Why is that nostalgia we want? You don't want to go around shilling stuff. Not everything that moves to the future is terrible. Some things are not awesome. Other things have been really great. Like, for example, having the ability to stream and get people from around the globe all in one place talking about you. Look at that.
20-year-olds, they grew up with an iPad, an iPhone, and a video game. They don't know anything about pencil and paper and playing outside and, no technology.
Tim, you don't know anything about pencil and paper either. Look at him. That's a great Paul story. You don't know about pencil and paper either, Tim. I've read the letters. And that was written by the AI, and it was still terrible because you can't proofread.
Not a clue. It's kind of like these countries, that they've been born and raised in communism
exactly.
for decades. They don't know anything else. People in China, they don't even know. It's like you watch those movies
he's never
where a guy,
no,
in a time machine.
Tim is the least remorseful person. Like I said, his content was so heavy with the video about his being 16, and it's a heavy topic. That's a lot of stuff. That's just, and I don't blame Tim for that, but obviously, it doesn't stop me from taking him to court. That's for sure. He should have long ago had some therapy, in my opinion, and that's coming from a healthcare provider. And I think just because of seeing how he interacts as an adult with people, and how he supposedly has a history of just being somewhat volatile with individuals as well, subscribers that he has met in person. So this is coming from other people, not necessarily from me, but my opinion is he's probably a difficult and volatile character, and having heard some of that history, it's very telling, but it's not an excuse. And I think that's always the thing that is so important to be aware, even with somebody who had a quite a terrible childhood. As much as he wants to dress it up and romanticize it, it was not the best or the most stable. But a lot of young people during that time, parents were having higher rates of divorce. There was a lot more instability happening in the family unit than I think there is even now. I think that people wait longer to get married. A lot of my friends have not divorced and have kids. I don't think I have known one that has divorced. The one that I knew who was divorced and did not have kids was me. Everybody else I know who has married has remained married. I don't think I've had any of my friends have divorced, which historically, in say my mother's generation, that would have looked very different.
Goes forward, and you don't understand that. Or these guys like on Twilight Zone, they go back in time, World War II, they're on some fancy aircraft carrier. You've seen those? And then somehow or another he flies through something and he gets put back in time. And if you were to be aware of that, if like the young people today could go back and experience our experiences And I know the other night when I was making a video about how young I was when I got married, listening to, 8-track tape players. Kids are like, what's an 8-track?
Yes.
They don't remember what a cassette was. I remember when those came out for us, we were like, cassette? Little?
Oh my goodness. He's just living in the past because he doesn't want to have to deal with what's happening for his future. Just, this should be his time of his most amount of wisdom. And I think, there's things to like enjoy from the past. Don't get me wrong. Like I sometimes cannot believe that I am the age I'm at, and I listen to some like dance music and some rave music because I did go to raves and stuff. That was my generation, and I did go to a lot of clubs. That was a Gen X, and had a great time in London. Would I want to be doing that now? No. Did I really enjoy it at the time? Yes. But I'm excited and still interested in what my adult future holds. I know I'm 57 this year, but I still feel that there's still stuff to learn and fun to have. I mean, and in a different way. I'm a little bit more introverted than I used to be. Just sort of changing a little bit, and kind of enjoying it.
Remember when you took videos and you had the big thing on your shoulder before they came out with a palm recorder? You still couldn't do it with a phone because you didn't have a phone. It didn't take video. You had to buy a video recorder.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe
look,
that's the location.
I just blinked,
thing.
and all of that was yesterday. And now, so don't blink because tomorrow, I don't know, what is it, flying cars, and we're living in, we grow our own food, or I don't know what.
I love getting out and having chats. Like, I really feel like, I know it's kind of parasocial, but interacting with the community here. I'm so excited to keep growing us because I know that we are the ability to grow a community of people who are enjoying just talking about stuff. Like I said, I have some other fun videos with these AI ones that we can just laugh at and have a good time. The more sensitive content with Tim talking about his past and the first wife, we'll do that as a members only because it's rough. I mean, I'm surprised he gets away with it. But and then obviously anything else medication wise or whatever comes up. But I'm having fun.
It's gonna be really weird. So if you are, let's say 20 or 25 years old, you haven't been taught any of this in school probably. I think they got rid of it all. They don't see any need for it. And you only know one thing, an iPhone and a tablet. So you evolve into this new technology because
I think you are limited in your understanding of technology. I'm sure they could take you around an iPhone and show you how to do stuff on this thing. It would probably blow your mind. I have no idea what these things do and no patience to sit down and even want to figure it out. They can take these little things and blow them up into something like really fun. Stop putting people. I don't always like putting younger generations down. To me, it's always like, I don't know, maybe it's a Gen X thing. I don't think that's a fun thing to do. I think that you have to understand. I just think it's bad. Why? There's things that I find that are really fascinating. They've really understood how to, do things and be able to make money with themselves and their content online that we had no access to. We had to do really boring 9-to-5 jobs at publishing houses and plan to be teachers, the really basic stuff, If you wanted to do theater or acting or something, you were considered just a wild narcissist. And nobody wanted to be that, and I had a family that, my father was like, my stepfather was like literally like, we will not let you have even money to eat if you take what we consider to be a toilet paper degree, as he called it. So I literally had to do something that showed that I was going to have a profession at the end of it to get any sort of I got most of it was paid for by the government in the UK, like all my actual schooling and most of my housing, but I had to make up a little bit for it. And my parents, just to get that little bit, I had to do teaching because otherwise everything else was toilet paper as far as my dad was concerned.
You've got the learning curve already. And yeah, things might change and evolve into some super technology they didn't have when you get to be my age. And you look back to today, when you were 20 or 25, and you say, man,
I know,
we were really antiquated compared to what AI and what we can do now. But it's not going to be the same.
And the reason why he talks this way is because he doesn't have a relationship with his grandchildren. I'm sure if he actually really did, because he made that video about retired with grandchildren, what, retired, ignore my grandchildren. I mean, get honest, Tim. He had actually interactions with kids. He might find it different. Because one of the things, maybe I don't have kids of my own, but I have been a big part of the lives of many of my friends' children. I have taken care of many of them, some for years on end. There was one that the family, I took care of their kids for like a decade. And throughout nursing school, oftentimes I would be taking care of these kids. I didn't even need the money. It was literally because I had fun seeing the kids. And I'd be like, hey, I'm not doing anything on the Friday night, I'll pick up $40, $50, $60, $70. I would sometimes get some good money in hand, and a couple of hundos in my pocket, Tim, on top of whatever for nursing, And, I enjoy learning from the kids and hanging out. I would have a blast, because I'm kind of an introvert. I'm getting older. Obviously, the parents trusted me. I'm not going to bring anybody over to party. I've actually got somebody who I'm going to help walk their dog in the neighborhood. They actually wanted to pay me more because I didn't even want to charge much. And all this dog walking and stuff. I'm really happy. I have a beautiful park, as you know, across the street. The guy needs help with his dog. I know the dog. It's a big dog. I'm not going to take Junebug and Roscoe because that wouldn't be fair. It's like 20 minutes. I just want this dog a couple afternoons a week to get out. I'll take him around the park and come home. It'll be extra exercise for me.
Still, it's just like me. I can't remember, cowboy days. Riding the horse and buggy and
thank you, Thomas.
Stagecoaches. But I watched the movies.
Oh, thank you for that gift. Thank you. Let me see who got those. Let me see who we got. Who we get. We got William, 1990. Look at that. You go, William. Jeff Couch Pineapple got one. Bink 98, 97. Learning to Live 78. And Dr. Watson Barnes Gemstone also got one. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for helping to grow the community. I think we got over 100 members today. So thank you, guys. That's awesome. 100 members to the Life and Vibe community. I never thought we would get there. So thank you so much for that. That was awesome. Thank you. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you're awesome, Thomas. Thank you for that generosity. Yeah, you're so welcome. Welcome. Make sure you catch up on all the past. You'll get to find out some interesting little titty bitties there. And we do get readies with me before court. And I'm going to be walking you through some of my prep process. Obviously, it's never legal advice. It's just all information, entertainment purpose.
I relate to it. I understand it. And when you think about somebody who was born in 1890, or not many left now, but
1890. Tim, who would be left who was born in 1890? They would be 136 years old. I don't think the oldest person ever lived to 136 years old. I don't think they were that old. Maybe 112. I can't remember. Now, I have taken care of a few centenarians in my time.
Years ago.
Tim was talking. I have taken care of some centenarians in my time on, sadly, hospice. And they've been 102 and so forth. But 136? Come on, Tim. 1890. What in the jeez is this old? Tim is acting as if he was Fred and Raffaella's age. And he's 67. He should be like, I still sometimes feel like, even though I'm kind of like a middling to early Gen Xer, I had a lot of friends who were the later end of Gen X. And then some of you friends who were millennials. And so I feel that I don't feel like I don't want to be old like that. I mean, I enjoy listening to like some songs from back in the time. I don't want everything to be like it was back in the day. Would I like the house prices? Probably. If I had to have one thing, it would be a 1970s house price with a 2006 interest rate, or the recent ones that went into actually a 2020 interest rate at 2% on a home, or whatever they were giving away. Tim.
Is that right? No. How far back would you have to go to still have met somebody that was born in the 1800s, like 1899, prior to the 1900s?
Oh, man, it's a clown.
You have to go back a ways now.
Oh,
I'm just thinking about the math on that. Wow. Time is flying, folks. Time is flying. Don't blink. You're going to be out of here. So live your life.
She's not around?
And
how was your grandmother born in 1892, Catherine, and not around? I know. My grandmother was born in I want to say it was 1918, I want to say. Is that right? She died at 91 in 2010. Is that right? Yes. Am I getting that right? I want to say it was 1918. She's surprisingly passed away at 91 in 2010. He's still wrestling with math. Your grandmother was born in 1908. Is she still with us? Your second house in 91 was 2.95. That's awesome. Interest. My first, I think, was it was like 4.56 or so. It was pretty good. I'm at a 4.375 now, which is why I just don't want to move. That is
because you got no other choice.
Tim, the historian,
and just remember what those dollars are worth.
Oh my God!
I still hold on to a dollar and squeeze a dollar. Like,
why would you be miserable with that?
And even Jim and I said $1 million is still a lot of money, but you can't even buy a house. You can't even buy a.
Yes, you can buy a house with $1 million, Tim. Just not where you obviously want to buy a house. Tim is still living large in his mind in this very expensive truck that he bought. I always love it when people have a truck that's worth more than their home.
House. You'd be broke if you bought it and you couldn't pay the property taxes and the utilities. I know you could buy a lot of houses for less than that, but not anything in most places. They're all $1 million.
I don't want to be rude, but I grew up in the South, okay? And I grew up in the south of England, but I also grew up here in the South, as in Virginia. And one thing that would always be pointed out to us as kids, and I don't think this was necessarily culturally appropriate for the adults to do this, was there a lot of probably bigotry in it? Absolutely. But my grandmother always used to love to point out the fact that people who had the small houses and the big cars and back in the day, because my grandmother was very frugal with her money, so she used to always be astounded to see like a Cadillac in front of a house that didn't look as worth as much as the Cadillac.
Isn't that crazy? Now, whoever thought of $1 million house?
You know,
about
like
your parents when they said you paid $35,000 or $3,000 or $50,000, whatever it was, for a house, $100,000.
No, come on, Stacy. I gotta. You know what? I don't want to irritate you anymore, Stacy. But this is what Tim says. This is what he says.
My channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Got a bunch of geezers watching me.
Yeah, he does. I had to play Stacy. That's the most annoying thing, isn't it? Your first house in night, it was 4.66. Those are some good rates.
Could you have convinced them that?
So that's 1995.
I mean, were there $1 million houses in those days?
Yeah.
Probably. You see where I'm going with this? It's just that everything you think about, what cars are, what things cost compared to,
Just Tim driving around in his $60,000 not needed truck because he wants to look like a contractor. He's just all about it. But I'm so poor, Judge.
How it was in the 70s or the 60s even. I didn't grow up in the 60s. I did, but I was a 10-year-old.
You did grow up in the 60s, Tim. What was going on between 1958 to the 70s then? You don't remember any of that stretch of your childhood? Was it just that much of a blur? Can't even load back. I clearly remember. I was born in 1969, Tim. So I definitely don't remember the 1960s, but I have a legitimate reason. I was born in August of 69. But most of the 1970s, sort of starting probably, I would say, 73 to 74. So probably getting from 4 years old onwards. Might have some memories from 3. But I would say the rest are very cemented memories of, you know, my family moving to South Carolina and us looking at homes. I can still remember to this day walking into this one house in South Carolina. I still have this strong, opening up this old mirror vanity that was above a sink in the bathroom and opening it, and it had this soap in there that was like a cartoon soap for a child. And I just kept hoping that we would move to this house so I could have possession of the soap, because I didn't get that fun stuff as a kid. It was like a dog. It looked like a dog. I still see it to this day. So, I mean, I just feel like Tim maybe drank his memories away. I don't know. You were born in 59? I heard about that Generation Jones. I was hearing more about that today.
By the time I got to...
I mean, I don't wipe the 70s away.
59, so 58.
Driving around talking.
59.
Well...
So let's say 60.
He has to drive around and talk because the air conditioning in the... we're going to see less videos inside the RV, guys. Okay? Just be prepared. It's that time of year in Florida. Tim's air conditioning in that RV is struggling. Now, remember, most of us who own homes know that we have to do maintenance on an RV system. It just doesn't run without you having to make sure the filters are clean. Because if your filters aren't clean, then you're going to get debris into the system, and that could cause the system to have issues. So in order to maintain a system, you need to at least twice a year get it all turned off. Or at least I have heat pumps. So I've got to go outside. This is going to happen soon. I need to go switch the heat. It's the perfect time of year because it's not too hot, not too cold. Turn the heat pump off. I have a special foam that I spray on the coils, and it sits on there for a certain amount of time, and then I rinse it off with the hose, and that cleans the coils. And then monthly, I change the filters where the air handler is located. And then I, at least once a year, get somebody to come in and just do a basic maintenance check, make sure the Freon, everything is topped up and everything is okay. Tim has done nothing for his air conditioning unit at the RV. He got up on top because of the AI. It basically, Hot Tin Can. Yeah, he is. He's crushing it. You want to be in Generation Jones? I don't know. Well, you could become honorary. Yeah, he climbed up on the top of that RV, and he started, because the AI told him he could do it. You need to check those things on YouTube, okay? Don't ask AI. If you need to do a tutorial, just go and look it up on YouTube where somebody is showing it to you. Don't ask AI, because you'll end up on top of a roof like Tim. And he unscrewed it and realized he had zero expertise in the matter. Put the lid back on, walked away. Do you think he spent any of that $9,000 he could just drop on a KLX to think, maybe this thing needs to be taken to be updated for the maintenance because I live in this thing like full time? And let me just stay in an extended stay for a week and let them do their job, or a couple of days, or whatever they need to get the work done and make sure that I can maintain my investment, which was a lot more than the $30-some thousand he likes to talk about, because he invested the other part of another trailer into it. So Tim spent hundreds of thousands of dollars that we can see. We know $58,400 came from the US government alone. So he's just been, but he's not maintaining it. So that air conditioning system if it's going to be coming up to 2024, I guess about 2 years old now, but used pretty extensively, not just for holiday. So this is an air conditioning system that's being regularly run. That flimsy little forest thing is not made to run that way. It is about one of the worst things made on the market. So we're not going to get any travel trailer videos, guys, unless it's evening time and it's cool and rained or something, or he up in the mountains, because it's going to be a tin can soon, and he doesn't maintain it, so that thing's probably going to struggle.
And by the time, I was like 15 in 1975. That's when I could remember stuff and think about stuff, and was having a good time with my school friends.
Right.
So that's where I go back to. Some of you can remember the 60s. Well, boy, those were some good times, weren't they?
Right.
I'll never forget them. And I don't think there's ever going to be.
Yeah, you have to maintain regularly. And Tim just got on top of that roof and then gave up. Nothing heard else about it. Realized he needed to do something about his air conditioner. I don't think that thing can move. I mean, that thing is flimsy.
That I'm not enjoying my life, and I haven't achieved a lot of success, and I've gone upwards and forwards, and I got more money in the bank than I did when I was really young. But I don't believe that
Yeah, but you got the money in some really shisty ways, Tim. And regurgitating a video, YouTube needs to start rewarding these people. But people love to interact because they think this Tim's an everyman.
I'm experiencing the coolness, and I definitely didn't have any of the negativity that was bombarding us.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have things to read and all these phones and tablets and computers to just, and the TV shows, these opinion media shows. We weren't inundated with propaganda. It is so poison. It is so horrific of what you have to let go over your head and not think about it, not watch it.
I wonder how successful he's going to be in court. He can't get away. I know everyone is like, oh, he just did this and that. Yeah. Real world doesn't work like that. They obviously, the people saying those comments follow the same rules of adulting that Tim does. And it catches up with you over time. All right, Tim, finish it out. You look manic.
Just to keep your sanity. So I'm going to end with that. If you want any kind of sanity, don't watch it. Don't talk about it.
Oh, goodness. Okay, whatever. Tim's talking about don't listen to the news, but he does it all the time. 1,400 views, 31 comments. My granddad paid $3,500 for his house purchased from the Sears Roebuck catalog. Arthur hasn't figured out that Tim's a con artist. Unless Tim is Arthur. I like looking at movies from the 70s and 80s. I don't know. Some are good. Some are terrible. Okay. Oh, no. I'm about to say not more water filtration. Look at this. We got taking the KLX. I just cannot, guys. I can't do any more of these videos. Fred and Raffaella and the fairy tale. This was I got a dinner invitation. Just talking about who knows what. Who knows what? Let's finish out this poll and let you guys get to dinner. It's almost 6 p.m. I almost took you for 2 hours. It's been fun, though. I've had a really good time catching up with everybody. Sorry I've been so MIA. I'm hoping to try to actually, goal is to create a schedule and stick to it. That's always my goal. And I haven't done very well so far. But I've done well at setting my times and sticking to them. So I've managed to accomplish that. That has been my goal, is not to set a time and then change it. That I sit down and I really think to myself, okay, don't put that time for live, Ray, because you need to go off and do a bunch of other stuff. So you may not make that time. So I'm being a little bit better about that. I would like to try to get at least a schedule for the members only so that you guys definitely know when we're going to meet up. I like doing the Thursday nights, but, I want to make sure it's something that we can all stick to, or not we all. Me can stick to without other stuff interfering with it and making that not possible. But look out for members only, because I do plan to do that tomorrow evening. So look out for that, guys. I appreciate all your generosity this evening. For those of you who send me the buy me a coffees, you know who you are. I want to thank you all for doing that. If you do want to help me get an attorney for August. So I'm not going pro se to talk to the judge and maybe make the process happen faster. Donate through Buy Me a Coffee or donate through YouTube. However, I won't complain. I hear there's other channels who are trying to raise money for Tim's attorney fund. because why not help him? Because that's what made this community so great, was having other members of the community suddenly say, no, let's support Sarasota Tim instead, because, you know, that's where my money is. So yeah, that was, if you want to do that, I say thank you. Let's finish out this poll. Okay. I was finishing out the poll. Here we go. 132 votes. That was awesome. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. And like I said, we're going to do this one about these AI retirement things because it's hilarious. Is him an algorithmic genius or just putting out video slop? And we watched a little bit. And so what do you think? Video slop just for views / AdSense at 83%. In second place, it's a bit of both in AI directed, 12%, and 100% algorithmic genius, or 5%. So thank you guys for doing and participating with that. I really appreciate it. And my moderators, Catherine and Sammy, for being here. And Angel, we know she's always with us in spirit. If you haven't had a chance to hit the likes, I would love for you to do so on the way out so people can find this riveting content that Tim is putting out. 5 videos a day, multiple reviews, just obviously highlighting the KLX because he needs to get this sold. Tim is somebody who's very impatient, I think, sometimes. So when he's itching to get something sold, we are going to hear but about it all the time. I just can't. I couldn't even watch. Look at this. We've had today alone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos. 6 videos, all regarding something that Tim is trying to flog. Either flogging the KLX, flogging a percolator, flogging a grill, flogging an e-bike battery, or a water filter system. I don't know if this was the genius that Tim thinks is going to blow his channel up to 100K. If he wants to be the review guy, then that would have been fine. That's what you call your channel, the review guy. And all you do is reviews. You don't then turn around and complain about not having your hospice wife, or complaining that you can't find some poor woman to cook and clean for you till you die. And having provided nothing for a woman her whole entire life, you just expect some woman, I certainly wouldn't be a young woman, to come into what you're providing, sir. Because you probably want her to bring the home along with her. So you can sit your fat ass down and be treated like king of the castle. Get that out of here. What have you done to deserve any of that? It'd be like a female expecting to be treated like a queen and a princess for having done nothing but showed up in somebody's life. Like, and thinks she looked cute. It's the same, it's the equivalent. Tim thinks because he's some hot commodity, and he's a cheap son of a bitch. Pardon my French. But he is. He's not going to be spoiling them with dinners or anything. That he's going to be splitting a plate of food and complaining if you want a soda. Would any woman want to tolerate that BS? If you're a partnership and you're working and that's because you're a couple and you're doing your finances, that's one thing. But starting out and dating as a cheap SOB like Tim probably is, heck no, it's never going to fly in his age group. Yeah, no man. Yeah. No man, he's no man in my eyes. I don't think he's worthy of I mean, it's going to be 2 people trying to figure out how to use each other. Because I don't think anybody of quality is going to be hooking up with Tim. I think that he blew any chances he's had. I mean, all right, Timbery. You know, I'm sure, you know, he thought he was going to be landing himself softly into Miss Tammy's money and home. I hope she keeps him out of there. I hope Miss Tammy is smart enough to know that this man is going to be nothing but worthless, and he will drain every last energy and piece of life force that that woman has left in her. And I wouldn't do it. If there was a great guy and you know, you know, and you just suddenly got on, but I think as you get older, you're more set in your ways. It gets much harder. You know, these couples are probably more likely to bicker. Now, I've seen it work, but somebody who's been as, you know, I wouldn't wish Tim on any poor woman. All right, guys. I just find it laughable. Every video he talked about getting on a dating website. I'm like, what? What do you offer? I mean, geez, just the lies, you know? God, you know, it's too much. I saw a story recently where this poor lady was, you know, the boyfriend didn't want to marry her. He had an ex-wife. He had a developmentally disabled child that lived with the ex-wife, but the ex-wife was older, so it was, and I think she had some health potentially problems, so that meant that she potentially would pass away before the ex-husband, and then the ex-husband was slightly older than the girlfriend, so he was thinking that this girlfriend would just become like somebody to take care of him and his disabled son while getting nothing in return. Not even the home, because the home was going to the son. like they wanted this poor lady to like give up her job and her benefits and all this stuff to literally be a caregiver to a bunch of other people. No, women, unless it's your husband and you are, you know, or it's like, and it's your family and you are part, but to be part of just roped into some stranger's life to suddenly become a caregiver. No, I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you want to charge, you know, so supposedly my range is anywhere from 40 some to 60 some dollars an hour. So unless you want to be charging that. So there you go. All right, guys. Let's see if Timmy will continue to pop out the gold nuggets of content today. And we'll catch you up in the members only live next time, everybody. Like I said, I can't but wish you the best of a Friday evening. And I appreciate you all. Bye.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.